Hello, everyone. It's Saturday, October 10th. I'm Roxanne Grinage. I'm founder and 9-year step demonstrator of HireLyrics.org. I wanted to come to you today in front of our earlier practice model banners where we demonstrated standard access for a previously unseen, unaccommodated, unmeasured worldwide population of disadvantaged creators. What are they creating? They are creating work product contributions, original creative work product contributions, and contributions of careers into traditional industries and professions. So bear with me. The purpose of this video is to announce that our outlook as a standard access mechanism, having access so that a population can present for administrative services that guard and protect rights of ownership, can be made available regardless of who you know or what you have. All right, standard access to administrative services rendered contingently. Where did I get this idea? I got this idea from what attorneys do. I worked for attorneys in litigation for over 20 years, right? And all I do is the same thing that I would have done for an attorney as a legal admin, a paralegal, after the attorney signs a client on a contingent case, it might be personal injury or whatever, where they agree on a contract that the attorney gets a percentage and you get the balance of the percentage and you agree to pay costs. I say it can be demonstrated, and I have demonstrated that for a population where litigation was not available before. And that means render those same secretarial services that after the attorney shakes his client's hand or her client's hand, says, thank you very much, I'm going to get to work on this for you, contingently, meaning I'm going to get a share of whatever I get for you, representing you. After that client leaves, he turns to his paralegal or his team, his staff or her staff, and says, get on that. Start a file on this. Document everything. Trial prep. We're going to court on this. This is litigation. All right? HireLyrics has demonstrated that there's a population of claimants that before weren't able to be seen by the litigation industry. So I use the same services, documentation services, as a legal admin, as a paralegal, and now as a practice manager, to document the existence of presentation. When anybody presents with any type of need that has to do with a mechanized industry or a process, I immediately recognize what industries the challenge for market entry is. HireLyrics.org, marketing careers label stores, born to serve the previously unmeasured, unaccommodated worldwide population of disadvantaged creators. HireLyrics is an invention of business method that provides standard access to administrative services that protect rights of ownership, enable fair entry into competitive processes, cause earnings and exposure opportunities, and reveal best quality work products to those industries and traditional systems which shape all of us, our children and our children's children. Business practices are evolving to accommodate dignity of the human spirit. These are the industries for which I have identified my standard access mechanism. And when I say the mechanism, there's a portal constituency where we have case studies and clients and collaborators have already been presented that have the market entering challenge that a standard access mechanism, if they could only get the documentation administrative services, they could get a secretary, right, on a contingent basis to work for them contingently, and the secretary doesn't get paid unless the professional service doesn't get paid unless they actually work aggressively on their behalf. These are the industries: education, litigation, entertainment, technology, communities, community development, 12-step recovery, synergy and intent, life experience. Now, what does this have to do with CPS victims and fees and court reform? Let's go over here. Here you're looking at a slice of a portal. This is 2003 in our schematics. All of this is going to be viewable and publishable and free download on a page of HireLyrics. It is right now. Just go there, look on the sidebar. I don't know if it's here or over there, but look on the sidebar, right? I'm trying to keep this under 10 minutes for YouTube. and you'll be able to go find pages and find, or just punch my name in any search engine, Roxanne Grinage, or HireLyrics, my company, marketing, careers, labels, stores. You can substitute brand if you want, branding and brand recognition. So how do we do that with standard access? Here on this side, here's a portal. Here's a split of the portal, the presentation, using the internet technologies. With the internet technologies, we can impact the physical by what we do virtually, right? There's people that you can just, if you could design the forms, and that's what we've done, the intake forms. The same way if you went to go see an attorney and paid them for a consultation or got a free consultation, they're going to push a form at you where they know what pieces of information that they need. So if you make these forms, if these forms are available through standard access, right, that immediately empowers an unaccommodated population with need for documentation of rights of ownership. And what are we trying to document in CPS victimization and court reform? Corrupt family courts. Our right to our constitutional right to the pursuit of happiness. That's what we're trying to document our rights. We're trying to fight aggressively, lawfully, through litigation, which is an industry. Litigation is an industry. If you have a need, right, to proceed lawfully through the system, through the traditionalized system, it's going to require you entering into a competitive process that is in fact an industry whose agenda may or may not necessarily be yours. It usually is not. The agenda for most industries, the objective is revenues. So you need to navigate. So for CPS victims who want to proceed lawfully, they need lawsuits. They need lawsuits, they need documents, they need faxes, they need phone calls made on their behalf, they need somebody, an illegal admin, the same way an attorney would close that door after he got you to sign a contingency agreement and said, find out what the filing rules are in this court. You need a legal administrative assistant, a secretary, to find out what the appropriate venue is, what the court rules are for filing, what you can and you cannot do, and it's nothing more than legal administrative assistance services. That's all it is, only they're rendered contingently. They're not, you don't have to pay a lot of money. You don't have to pay a huge salary like you would an attorney, because we're not practicing law. We're referring it to litigation. After we set it up, the presentation of creators, info package, contract sign question, you have to fill out the forms that authorize anyone to work on your behalf. Because the person that's working on your behalf, if they're a legitimate professional service, first of all, they have to verify you are who you say you are, and you also, what you're saying is true. That's responsibility. We all have to be responsible. So you have to fill out some type of agreement. So our forms are getting much more user-friendly, layperson-friendly. We're in the arena now of CPS reform, corruption in government, and corruption in family court specifically. And it's not corruption in U.S. federal courts as much as it is clerical errors that, because of the convoluted message that is sent through the docket summary errors and things like that, it convolutes the case. And many times there are unfair and unjust dismissals because of an internet technology challenge, a market entering challenge that's controlled by work ethic, synergy, and intent. Did the person choose the right drop-down arrow? You know what I mean? So that's a legal administrative service as well. Calling the clerk, writing a letter to the clerk, faxing a letter to the clerk, saying, please, we noticed these errors in the docket summary, and it's going to affect what the federal court judge knows about our case and thereby affect the decisions that it makes. So me and my company and my portal constituency, which is growing every day, changing every day, is sharing our information. Quote, sharing learning results in community courage and increased quality of life. HireLyrics shares our learning. Another quote, support with all your might those teachers who cause the learning we are more alike than we are different.